Hey guys, this is ToyTony. We set up at a flea market on the weekend. It's Busseys Flea Market outside of San Antonio. And sometimes I find things, sometimes I don't. The truth is I probably don't look as much as I used to because I have a lot of stuff. Anyway, this past weekend, I found something really cool and I thought we could do a video and share it with you. Anyway, I thought it was cool to find these figures. Mego made these figures. They started making Planet of the Apes in 1974 in conjunction with the release of two of the movies to TV. The actual movie started in 1968 and they became a massive hit. They made 5 movies between 68 and 73. So in 74, when they released 2 of them to television, and then after that followed, of course, the television series, Mego took a chance on this property. This was the first time they had ever worked on a movie property, and it also became their biggest year to date. So Mego had a very successful year in 74, and it was all because of these wonderful figures. And these figures, they paid a lot of attention to them when they were making them. They are really top quality for the age of 74. A lot of stuff back in 74, there was some cool stuff, but not everything paid close attention to detail. And I think Mego did a really good job of that. And this is when they released, if you look at these, the Mego figures they all have a lot of articulation. Their arms swivel, their elbows move. Some of these might be a little stiff because I don't think they've been moved. I haven't played with them since I found them. And, they have lots of articulation. They even have waist joints. So, when these came out, these were ahead of their time in terms of articulation. As far as I know, the Soldier Ape was probably the only figure that came out with an accessory, and that was a rifle. I do not have the rifle, and apparently this soldier's he jumped out of bed without his shoes on because he's kind of shoeless. So I'm sure that the Soldier Ape also came with some sort of standard boots that fit on these figures. The funny thing is, before I move on, is a lot of times I find another Mego property with this Soldier Ape outfit on. It's the Gorn from Star Trek. I don't know how many times I've seen a Gorn, and I think his outfit is very close, but I've actually seen him and I go, man, that's not his outfit, that's the Soldier Apes. So anyway, here's the Soldier Ape. Missing some shoes. Here's Cornelius, and he has his shoes. So this is a complete figure, and the quality is amazing because I've found these before and there's wear on the outfit, a lot of it, and rips and discoloration. There's a little bit of staining on this, but I think that this Cornelius figure is in really good shape. I think I found them too where some of this fur is already coming off. Anyway, again, he has the same articulation. It's kind of hard to swivel his feet with the boots on, but his hands move, his elbows move. His shoulder joints move. He's got waist articulation. A lot of the way this is set up is back then they used these bands inside the toys. The same idea worked on G.I. Joe, the 12-inch, and I know Mego made it popular because they used the banding. So sometimes you find these and they fall apart, but they're easily fixed, which is kind of cool. So this is Cornelius. We're going to look at Cornelius's main squeeze, Zira. And I remember Zira, she used to look at Taylor and go, Taylor, I really like you, but you're just so damn ugly. So Zira was really cool. She also has her shoes, and I think I have a number of Ziras that have no shoes. It's kind of cool to find her with shoes. And again, she seems to be in pretty good shape. Besides some wrinkles from probably being in that box for God knows how long. This is probably the first time I've come out of the box in decades. And should tell you that Mego had a standard body for most of their toys. So this is the standard male body and this is the standard female body. And they all have awesome articulation, and it's only hindered by the fact that they're wearing material clothes, so it's a little harder for me to bend them. But if I wanted to pose them into any pose, I think I could do that pretty easy. So that leaves probably the last one we're gonna look at, but certainly not the least. He was the kind of the aggressor in the show. This is Dr. Zaius. He is the one that believed, and he knew what was going on with, what happened with the humans, but he did not want to share a lot of that with them. He did not want anybody to know that humans actually were intelligent. He didn't believe that, he didn't want anybody to know the truth about humans and what had happened in the world after I guess it was the atomic bomb, I think, that went off. If you watch the original movie, you can see Charlton Heston, who was a great actor of his time. At the end of the movie, he comes around the corner, and one of my favorite, and it still sticks with me today, is the fact that the Statue of Liberty was in the dirt by the beach. And so anyway, Dr. Zaius was the one that wanted everybody to know that humans were evil, and he was trying to get rid of as many of them as possible, especially if he found out they had any skill set, if they could talk or stuff like that. So anyway, I'm telling you more about the movie than the figure, but I wanted you to get a little bit of background on these Planet of the Apes figures. So,
reach into my pocket. Read to him the 29th scroll, 6th verse.
Beware the beast man, for he is the devil's pawn. Alone among God's primates, he kills for sport, or lust, or greed. Yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land. Let him not breed in great numbers, for he will make a desert of his home and yours. Shun him. Drive him back into his jungle lair, for he is the harbinger of death.
Anyway, this was a cool find. A lot of times you don't find old toys, especially 50-year-old toys, at the flea market. So I thought it was kind of cool to show these off and let you see some of the older stuff. And there may be a lot of you out there that like Mego toys because they still make them today. They still use the same, except for, there's some, they changed up the wrist joints, but other than that, I think in the ankle joints, but other than that, the bodies are still very close to what they started with 50 years ago. And like I said before, Mego for years was one of the top, if not the top toy manufacturer. And I think everybody knows one of the reasons that Mego kind of fell was Star Wars, because they had a chance to take on that property and they turned it down. And so of course we know the history on Star Wars, and we can discuss that in a different video, but for right now I just kind of thought this was a fun thing to show everybody. And until next time, remember, you're never too old to love toys. This is Toy Tony, and I'll talk to you real soon.